All right. We're live. Just like when I was preparing to get live a little earlier. Brian Flores says Stephen Ross offered him blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's... Dolphins apparently sued the NFL for something. So yeah, welcome to Huge Sports Talk. We'll probably do that if G-Dash doesn't work, which is probably most likely. But we got some big topics to talk about today. And when we mean big topics, I mean big topics. What the frick is this? This is the most surprising thing I've ever seen. Right here. Chiefs lose to the Bengals. As a Ravens fan, I'm not happy with this. Because that means the Bengals are now going to the Super Bowl, which is never a good sign for me. It's probably not a good sign for Blinks either, because he's a Steelers fan. And the Bengals are in that same division as well. And for Kansas City, I don't know how they lost to a team that was fourth place in their division last year. Someone explain that to me. I mean, like, some people are even starting to say Joe Burrow is the new Tom Brady. I certainly hope not. Because that means we got to deal with him for freaking years. Or at least in my perspective. In other people's perspective, that means the AFC is going to be screwed over. Plus, you have Aaron Rodgers, who's supposed to be moving to the AFC as well. But, however, Ben Roethlisberger has officially retired, and so is Tom Brady. So those are some positives for some teams, some negatives if you're fans of those teams and don't want them to retire, but some things come to an end. And then you got the Rams versus the Niners. The Rams ended up beating the 49ers, and they will advance to the Super Bowl. This is Chase's favorite team, so it's going to be them versus the Bengals. So, quite big stuff. But before that, we always have the Pro Bowl, AFC versus NFC. I think the AFC is definitely going to win this year, as they have a lot of power assets. And then, of course, you got the Super Bowl. It's going to be the Rams versus the Bengals. The Rams are playing at home because the Super Bowl this year is located at SoFi Stadiums. So this will be the second consecutive Super Bowl where we will have a home team. It's also possible for a Super Bowl to have both teams become home teams, but the only way that's possible is if both the Rams and the Chargers make it to the Super Bowl. But I doubt the Chargers are going to do much yet. So when it comes to fan contest rankings, the Bengals are in 8th. Stats to know. They are both tied with points scored. How do you get 1/10 of a point? For total yards, the Rams top them by only one position. In passing yards, the Rams are better than the Bengals in passing yards. The Bengals are better than the Rams in rushing yards. The Rams are better at third down conversions. The Bengals are better at fourth down conversions. However, the Bengals can possess the ball for the longest given time. Well, almost the longest given time. We don't have anyone that has a first on your defense. The Rams have the lowest points allowed out of these two teams, and they also have the lowest out of total yards. However, passing yards, they're not so good, but the Rams top that too. Rushing yards. The Bengals have a better rush defense than the Rams do, and yeah, that's the statistics. The color blue says, I'm trying to fix Minecraft. Yeah, that's fine. So basically what that means is those are the statistics. My prediction is that the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Like, if you want to post a comment on this, let me know who you think is going to win the Super Bowl. Oh, okay. And yeah. Baseball. It is February now. And they still have not found a way to fix things. Yeah, hopefully it works for you today. So it looks like to me that we might not have spring baseball because people do not know how to come up with an agreement. I think this system is bullcrap. The color blue says, who likes Genshin? Apparently a decent number of people because it got second in Conference 1. I mean, it's not a bad game either. The only issue is it lags, but despite that, everything else is nice about it. Okay, let's talk about the NBA. Oh no. Okay, so newsflash: the Atlanta Hawks make it into the top 10, and now the Wizards are out of there, which is not a good sign for me because I'm a Wizards fan. Man, I bet you my team's going to be like the Detroit Lions kind of thing. Well, actually, that's what Orlando is. They're always losing. That's what happens when you have idiots as coaches, and it's also what happens when your teammates betray you. For example, Russell Westbrook. So I was kind of happy he got benched in that other Lakers game. Because he literally left the team because he literally requested a trade just so he could play for the Lakers. That's it. Basically what that says to me is, frick you guys, I'm playing for these guys. Like, I don't understand why people do that. Like, Color Blue says I'm back at work, so that's good news. Oh yeah, speaking of this today, it is now officially Black History Month, which means we're going to be doing what we did last year, where we'll be playing as African skins whenever we can. So things to note, no one's eliminated. Let's look at the West. And now the Kings are out of playoff range again. And the Trailblazers make it back in. It kind of sucks having a team that doesn't know how to win games. Which is my team. For some reason, I don't understand. We went from being number 1 in the entire conference to being number 12. What has happened with the Wizards that caused this? Like, what has happened? There's only 2 people injured. Oh, wow. That could be one reason, but... That could be one reason we're losing games, because our star player is out. Great. Does every team that I like get suffered with injuries? Well, actually, if they don't get suffered with injuries, they all suck. Kind of like the Orioles for some reason. I don't know why they can't win a game. Like, they can't even win a division. They're 5th every year in their division. Alright, moving on to the world of hockey. As we are still not doing that great. But are we least in the wild card? Answer is yes. Thank goodness for that. At least the Capitals have some sense in actual sports. But for all the other teams, they're looking kind of good, unless if you're about borderline screwed, like the Wizards are, which is literally what happened to us. I think this is what happens when you have certain coaches or something. I don't know. Something about the NBA is very strange. Yeah, G-Dash is not working very well for some people. MLS. It is February now, and we are days away from the start of the next season, as the first kickoff game for the next Major League Soccer season will be the Philadelphia Union versus Minnesota. Is it Minnesota? It's Minnesota United. Last time, I believe that's actually East versus West, which they don't usually have that many. I don't know what APK is. So, out of the teams list, this one right here is new. Charlotte FC is joining the league. And I believe we play them on December 26th for their first ever game. And soccer schedules are now looking to only be on the weekends now. Last year it was all spread out through the entirety of months and all that. It's on random weekdays. Like sometimes it is, like here in May and June. Yeah, it just gets random once you get to certain other months. Yeah, I tried that already. I already tried uninstalling and reinstalling G-Dash. It still does it for me. Like, it's been having that problem for months. Premier League. Let's take a look. What week is it? Let me look on playoff statuses. Okay, right here. It is week 25 out of 41. So halfway mark would be what week? That would have been week 21. We're past that now, so eliminations are now possible. And it seems like every team can still possibly win first place somehow, even Burnley. Because it doesn't look like there's any X's yet, which I'm surprised I haven't seen any, because it's week 25 and no one's been eliminated yet. And basically how the playoffs work is the top four will move to the Champions League, which is what I see as the playoffs. Number 5 goes to Europa League, but that's not really that important because it's not that big of a tournament. And the goal would be the best of Europe if you make it to the Champions League. So both Manchesters, Liverpool, and Chelsea are looking to join into the playoffs, is what I like to call it. Now, of course, there's going to be some other teams from minor leagues as well, strangely. Like, what I would have probably done is, since there's a bunch of great leagues, I would just put 8 from each country and all being in the major leagues. There's no point in putting minor league teams in tournaments with a bunch of major league teams just so they could lose. The minor leagues should probably have their own tournaments like the Champions League, so that it's actually competitive and doesn't do anything dumb. Moving on, again, the Champions League. What is this, the round of 16? Let me look at the Champions League. Yeah, there's a bunch of games. Here are all the upcoming games. You got Manchester City at Sporting CP, Real Madrid at Paris. That actually would probably be a very good game to watch. Liverpool at Inter Milan, Bayern Munich versus FC Salzburg, Lille versus Chelsea. Wait, Lille made it to the second stage? Oh yeah, that's right. They're from another major league. I was thinking I was thinking the minor leagues for European soccer. Juventus versus Villarreal, Ajax versus Benfica, and Manchester United at Atletico Madrid for the round of 16, and it's best of 2, which usually it's not a thing, but what that means is the scores carry over to each game. So basically, it's saying you're playing a 120-minute game, or no, a 180-minute game rather than a 90-minute game. It's basically what I see it as. One half of the game would be at one stadium and the other half at the other stadium. I'm not sure why they do this, but that's how it's done in this league. It's going to be the same way in the quarterfinals and the semifinals, but in the finals, it's just going to be one game. So yeah, that's that. Europa League, we don't care much about that. Euro Cup, that's over. World Cup, let me see if they actually have anyone. I think there's only one division left. No, there's three. There's three divisions that are not done yet. As, however, Ecuador's still not finished. But Ecuador is about to clinch the playoffs for the World Cup. And Peru, maybe. Uruguay has gotten in front of Colombia to go against another team in order to make it to the World Cup, which would probably be against a CONCACAF team. However, for this league, it is week 23, and still no one's been clinching yet. But the Honduras is eliminated now, which means we are now down to three more eliminations from this confederation before three teams qualify for the World Cup, and the other one will play against, I believe, the South American Conference, which would most likely be Panama as of right now. In the AFC, it looks like no one's clinched yet, but things aren't looking good for Iraq and Syria, as they are no longer possibly going to get in front of Iran in order to take first spot. However, for everyone else, they still can do that. In the other group, Vietnam has received 2 X's, which means that they will have to play against another confederation team if they want to even get in the playoffs or the World Cup finals and stuff like that. So, in other words, there's some other countries that are on here now, but the one group we're still waiting on is the OFC. The Oceania is still waiting for soccer to be played. They do not play until their qualification rounds doesn't start until season 3, which, if you want me to translate that for you, that will be March of this year, as it's currently the first day of season 2 now, so welcome to the new season. And we start off with huge sports talk. Those seasons, NCAA baseball looks like it's starting, or already started. No, it didn't. College baseball is coming up soon. Games will start on February 18th. So, for those of you who are fans of that, your games will start soon for spring sports, which will be the last period of school athletics until next year, because they do not have summer sports. I wish they did, but they don't. As much as we all wish they did, they don't. Because they all have a thing called summer vacation and summer school. In men's basketball, the season continues today and throughout the couple of weeks. But however, coming in season 3 of this chapter, March Madness is going to come back. Who will be the champion this year? We'll find out. Depends on who is in the top 16 in each of the four regions, which is North, South, East, and West. The best 16 of those will move on to the 64-team playoff. Here's an example of last year's. Got Midwest, the South, the West, and the East. I'm surprised they didn't do North. Last year's champion was, of course, Baylor. Even though, to be fair, most of these games didn't even have 50 points, or some of them didn't have 50 points. But none of these games reached 100. And I don't know why Oregon and Virginia was canceled. I didn't even know that happened. I guess Virginia said, screw it, we're backing out of this tournament, we're not playing. And let Oregon move on. I guess it's probably COVID. What's up, Once a Cup? Welcome. No, you were eliminated. Moving on to college hockey, that's already started because it's winter sports. We're towards the end, however. I'm not sure how the playoffs works for NCAA hockey, so I don't know what will happen. XFL has not done anything for the last couple of years. And it's not going to do anything until at least 2023. Once Cup says, oh, why? The fans voted you out. That's why, I guess. CFL, we already know our champion. For women's NBA, that starts in season 6, if I'm right. Or was it season 7? Okay, it's not determined yet, but I think it was season 7 when they started playing. Women's World Cup will come in 2023. And then college basketball, for them, they have March Madness as well. Those are the standings as of right now for that. So yeah, that is the end of Huge Sports Talk for this episode. If you guys enjoyed, subscribe, and we'll